welcome back to the next episode of Canadian Connection Podcast. And today we're here with Laura Incognitto. Laura, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. So I just want to ask you, before we get into your sweet venture, Little Tucker, I want to ask you, what exactly is your background? Because, your accent is not Canadian, so...
Yeah, so I'm from Perth in Australia, which is the west coast of Australia, which is the side that no one ever goes to. So I moved to Canada about 3 years ago, lived in BC for the first year that I was here, and then came over to Calgary. And yeah, loving it so far.
Now, what was it that drove you to start Little Tucker?
So I think when I moved to Calgary, I was kind of in that space where I have a background in journalism, and I think I just got to a place where I knew that I didn't want to continue with that anymore. So I was just really searching for something that I was passionate about and that I wanted to turn into something that was a career for me. So it basically was just one day I was sitting down and just kind of like brainstorming of things that I love doing, and food was just like the only thing that made sense to me. So my parents are both Italian, and I've always grown up in the kitchen and watching my parents in the kitchen, and it's just something that's come so natural to me, and being in the kitchen is like my happy place. So yeah, I think it really made sense for me. And to be honest, at the beginning I thought it would just be like a hobby and something that I did part-time. So I started making these like healthy treats and selling them at the farmers markets, and that was about 1.5 years ago. And it just kind of blew up from there. So I started receiving like really, really great feedback from people, and I was kind of just really overwhelmed by how much people were loving what I was making. So I'd say like 2 months after that, I was kind of like, okay, like this is something that's real for me, and I'm going to turn it into a full-time thing. And I just, from there, fully committed to it and started selling at a couple of local vendors who, very luckily gave me a chance very early on, and just kind of really allowed me to grow to where I am now. So right now I stock at like, I think 15 places around Calgary, and so
you're in stores in Calgary now?
So I sell at cafes, some organic grocery stores, some fitness studios. This past couple of months for me has just been absolutely crazy. It's just been a really exciting time where I think people are just starting to get very interested in what I do and the kind of product that I make. And it's been really cool to kind of see people's attitudes changing, and the want for this kind of stuff is just increasing every day. So I think it's a really exciting time in Calgary.
Now, you are focused primarily on health food, right? So what is it about that kind of drove you to start this company?
Yeah, so everything I make is 100% natural. So it's all completely unrefined. I don't use any processed sugars or anything like that. It's all gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan. And it's also all raw. So everything I make is in its complete natural state. Nothing's being cooked or baked or had any heat added in any way. So I think I kind of went down that avenue because it's what I like eating.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, honestly, it kind of stemmed because 2 reasons. This kind of thing is really popular in Australia, and it's kind of the way that I was used to eating, just very fresh, natural food that makes you feel good. And secondly, I kind of was finding that when I was going to the grocery store and looking for something like a quick snack, like a power bar or a granola bar or whatever it was, I struggled so hard. I would stand there for 20 minutes just kind of looking at the hundreds of products that are out there, and then kind of flipping it over and reading the ingredients, and realizing that as much as they were marketing themselves as a healthy alternative to people, once you kind of look further into it and read the ingredients, it's just not something that I was wanting to put into my body. So that's kind of why I started creating this, is because, I was sure that I wasn't the only person having this issue with food, and I wanted to create something that I was looking for in the grocery store, and that hopefully other people were looking for in the grocery store too.
So if the viewers of this show want to check you out, how can they go about doing that?
Yeah, so you can always go to my website, and there's a full list of the places that I stock at there. But for example...
and the website's Little Tucker?
www.littletucker.ca.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of my biggest vendors are places like Wild and Raw, which is a superfood juice bar in Kensington. So they stock a full range of my products, from the energy bites to my salads to my desserts to grab and go breakfast, so kind of everything. And then coffee shops like Philosophy on 17th, Monogram, which is downtown, and in Altador, Vitality Tap, which is downtown. So there's lots of different places around town that are now stocking them. You can also order straight through me, so through the website. But yeah.
That's awesome. And you guys also do not just like the snacks, but meals as well, right?
Yeah, so I've started getting more into doing like grab-and-go lunches and meals, so things that are all vegan, but taco salads with walnut meat and cashew cheese. I've been getting into doing like raw pastas and different types of things, because I was just starting to realize that as much as for the first year I focused on snacks and treats, desserts, I was starting to realize that people wanted more than that. So I started kind of dabbling in these meals and got like a really, really good reception from people. So I'm kind of getting more into that side as much as I can now. I think there's just maybe a bit of I mean, people in Calgary are so busy and on the go, especially downtown, and I understand that a lot of these people don't really have time to prepare these kinds of meals for themselves. So yeah, just starting to really try and provide something for people who have health restrictions or a vegan or whatever it may be, just want to be health conscious, and just providing something for them that's really good and that they can grab on the go and that's affordable, and yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this, and make sure you check out Little Tucker online.